All right, so I'm sure you guys seen it. Bam Bam could potentially be traded, and I want to talk about the possibility of him coming to San Antonio, but honestly, just how I feel about him coming to San Antonio.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so let's just dive straight into this, okay? So your boy Bam Bam, he cannot be entirely ruled out, the Miami Heat says, as far as trading him. And a lot of people are pretty shocked, mostly because Miami's still in the playoffs and this news is coming out. It is strange, but I want to discuss this. So I got this email, or not email, I'm sorry. I got a DM from actually a couple people talking about, it was on Instagram actually, talking about, hey, did you hear the news about Bam? Like, we could potentially like get him because he's going to be available. And I thought back and I was like, wasn't there some type of beef that Bam had with Pop? And I went back and I found it. Yeah, he did. He had beef with Pop because Pop cut him from the Olympic team. And I remember seeing this quote in particular because he was asked if he had any animosity towards Greg Popovich. And he said, definitely animosity because I felt like I should have been on that team. And then he went on to say, but when we got to the Olympics, I had to let my animosity go because he was the coach of at the time. And this quote alone, it made me think, oh, at the time I was like, oh man, he's gonna always have a little bit of beef with San Antonio, right? Every time he goes against us, he's gonna really be ready to lace up. And I thought that maybe, and this is the reason why you can't just read things and not see the context like all the time. Now some things are so blatant that you read where there's no way around it. It doesn't matter how they said it. It doesn't matter if they said it with a funny face and a funny sounding voice. It's just that bad, right? But this right here, this is definitely something that you actually got to watch the interview of him talking about it to get the full like vibe of where he's coming at with it. So I wanted to look at this because honestly, I think Bam coming to San Antonio, first off, I don't think it'll happen because I think they would need way too much for Bam. I mean, this is a really good player. I know that he's hasn't been the best year after year when it comes to the playoffs. Like, he's getting a little worse, let's just be honest. But overall, he is a really good player, and I think that the Heat will ask for quite a bit. And also with us having Bassey, I don't really, not saying he's nowhere near Bam, right? But us having Bassey, and if we go into this draft and let's say we do drop, hopefully we do not, but let's say we do drop 4th, 5th. Well, it's like, well, I mean, you got Hendricks as a possibility if you want to go that route. You got Jarris as a possibility. So you got a few defenders in this draft early on in the lottery that you can lean on if that's, the direction you want to go in. I'm not crazy about just drafting big men, like defending big men, but I mean that early. But hey, it is what it is. So if that's what you got to do, if that's what you feel like you need to do, that's fine. And on top of it, with Zach Collins playing well. But I'm sorry, I'm babbling way too much. Let's see this quote because I don't think it's as bad as people might make it out to be. So let's zoom in, and she asked him about the animosity, and this is how it sounded. Hello, my cat is back on. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's listen.
Was there a conversation? Did you have resentment towards him?
Definitely animosity.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I should have been on the team. But when we got to the Olympics, I had to let my animosity go because he was my coach at the time. Mm-hmm. But when we left, I let him know, look, from the time being in this Olympics, we cool, and you my coach, I'm your player. We gonna be like you and Tim. That's the closest we gonna be. But when we leave, just know I'll never forget that you cut me. And the fact that he respected it so much, and he was like, man, I can't be mad at that. Like, because I did what I thought was best for the team, but I gotta live with that. So just know whenever we play the Spurs and you're coaching, it's always, to get me geared up for that game, it's always gonna go back to that. You cut me.
Really? To this day?
To this day.
So whenever you have that like marked on your calendar, like, oh, I'm gonna see Popovich again.
Whenever
I'm not gonna forget that he cut me.
Whenever we play the Spurs, he will never forget that he cut me.
Wow. So you make sure you turn it up a couple notches.
Honestly, like, out of curiosity, I want to look up his stats versus San Antonio. So like when you see the actual like quote or hear him saying it, you see that it's not that bad. So basically what he just said is, I'm not going to forget it, but if you were my coach, we'll be like you and Tim. Like That's not a lot of animosity. That's totally fine. That's a healthy amount of animosity he has. Hold on, I want to look this. Adebayo versus Spurs. Let's see. This ought to be interesting. I don't want to be mean. This ain't that impressive. You ain't that impressive. Let's see, since being cut, I think that's probably what we really want to look at. Well, he had a game in here. This is since being cut, and he had 36 points. Ooh, he was ready for that one. But for the most part, he hasn't been super like impressive versus the Spurs, I guess. I don't know. It's fine. It's cool. Whatever. Who cares? But anyways, yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention. I didn't know if you guys knew, but I did get some, a few messages on IG about this. Like, hey, you think we should go after him? And it's like, I don't know. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com. Mikasa, please. What? You're like a child. Why are you a child? Why are you being a child? Why? Why are you doing this? Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, link in the description, or become a patron or a YouTube member, only $2 per month. I'll give it to you guys later, and until next time, bye.